Chosen one. Listen carefully. The moment you paused here is not by chance. Heaven has pressed pause on every distraction surrounding you, so this word can find its way to your spirit. You are not like the rest. You were never designed to blend in. You carry a mark upon you that has always set you apart. Even when you tried to hide it, you have felt the weight of being different, the sting of rejection, the loneliness of walking a road that others cannot understand. Yet, even in those moments of confusion, something inside you kept whispering that you were meant for more. That whisper was not your imagination, it was heaven's call. This message is not entertainment, and it is not ordinary. It is a divine interruption in your timeline. God's eyes are upon you right now, reminding you that the road you have walked has not been wasted. Every tear, every night you thought no one noticed, every silent battle, it has all been shaping you for this exact hour. Do not think small of yourself. This is bigger than you realize. The enemy has tried countless times to convince you that you are forgotten, that you are overlooked. He has whispered lies into your heart, hoping you would believe them. But the very fact that you are here right now is proof that you are marked. If you were ordinary, darkness would have left you alone. But the fire against you has been great precisely because the glory upon you is greater. Do you understand? Chosen one, you are walking into a season where hidden truths are being unveiled. You are stepping into the reality of why you were born. God is not merely rescuing you, He is positioning you. Your story is not just survival, it is a testimony. And testimonies shake the foundations of darkness. The ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 8, verse 37. No, in all these things we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us. That scripture is not a poetic phrase, it is your identity. You are more than a survivor, more than a struggler, more than someone who barely makes it. You are more than a conqueror. That means you don't just escape the fire, you come out carrying treasures from within it. You don't just overcome trials, you emerge with wisdom, authority, and the ability to lead others out. Beloved chosen one, hear me clearly. You are not standing at this crossroads by coincidence. Heaven has placed you here, right now, because the hidden truth is about to unfold before your very eyes. What has been concealed is being revealed. Where there was confusion, clarity is about to come. Where there was silence, God's voice is about to thunder. Do not delay, and do not dismiss this word. The time of hiding is over. You are stepping into a season where your light will not be dimmed. Yes, there will be resistance. Yes, the enemy will try, but nothing formed against you shall prosper. And while the world might overlook you, heaven has written your name in its scrolls. You are chosen, sealed, and unstoppable. Now hear this. You are being called into boldness. The days of shrinking back are gone. You will walk with confidence, not in your own strength, but in the strength that heaven supplies. What you once feared will begin to fear you. Where you once stumbled, you will now stand firm. Where you once felt silenced, your voice will now roar like a trumpet. This is why you are hearing this right now, because the transformation is beginning. Chosen one, do not keep this word to yourself. When light strikes your heart, it is not meant to stay hidden. Declare it, share it, spread it, because every time you do, you silence the lies that once tried to bury you. So I urge you, if this word has touched your spirit, Let it be known. Like, share, and comment below, not as an empty gesture, but as a prophetic act of agreement with heaven. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and stay connected, because this flow of truth is only the beginning of what God is about to pour out. And now, as a seal on this word, I call you to type the number that confirms your alignment, 777. This is the prophetic number of completion, perfection, and divine alignment. Type it boldly in the comments as a declaration that you are stepping into your season, that you will not waver, that you choose to walk in your identity as the chosen one. This is bigger than you think, and heaven is watching to see how you respond. Chosen one, you must know this. You have not been drifting in life without purpose. You were marked by heaven long before the world even recognized your name. While others questioned your worth and overlooked your presence, the hand of God rested upon you. You have always carried a seal, an invisible sign that darkness could see and tremble at. That is why you could never fully fit in. No matter how hard you tried, you weren't created to be common. You were destined to be set apart. Think back on the moments when you should have been destroyed. Accidents that didn't claim you. Battles that didn't break you. Seasons of despair that didn't consume you. These were not coincidences. They were proofs of preservation. God Himself placed a mark on you, and that mark declared, "This one belongs to me." Some of your scars are not signs of defeat, but evidence that the enemy failed. They prove that what tried to break you could not hold you, because your destiny was shielded by heaven. Every time darkness tried to steal you, that seal shouted louder, "Untouchable, chosen, protected." You may not have seen it with your natural eyes, but the spiritual realm recognized it clearly. And that is why the battles around you have always been intense. While others walked easily through life, you felt the weight of warfare pressing on you. But remember this, the pressure has never been random. It has been preparation. You are marked not just for survival, but for assignment. The fire you endured wasn't meant to burn you, it was meant to refine you, to awaken in you the strength you carry as one who is chosen. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Ephesians, chapter 1, verse 4, "For He chose us in Him before the creation of the world to be holy and blameless." Let those words sink into your soul. They are not history alone, they are reality for you now. God knew you before you even drew your first breath. He separated you before you even knew what separation meant. He appointed you, not after you proved yourself, but before you had the chance to succeed or fail. Your calling was not earned. It was given. It is a divine inheritance sealed by the word of God Himself. This is why you have carried a deep sense of responsibility, even when you didn't understand where it came from. It is why you could never settle for shallow living. Inside you, there has always been a longing for something greater, something deeper, something beyond the ordinary cycles of life. That hunger is proof of your identity. You are not chasing after meaning, you are carrying meaning within you. Chosen one, your uniqueness is not a mistake. The way your heart breaks for injustice, the way you feel things deeply, the way you perceive what others ignore, all of this is evidence of your anointing. Heaven stamped you with qualities that cannot be erased. And though people may misunderstand you, your mark is not for their approval. It is for divine recognition. Do not despise your difference. Do not look at others and wonder why you could not be like them. The seal upon your life demands distinction. You were marked to shine in ways others cannot. You were chosen to walk paths others would fear. And though the road has been lonely, I know this, you were never truly alone. The one who marked you has walked beside you from the very beginning, guiding, shielding, whispering truth into your spirit, even when you could not perceive it. The mark upon you is also a mantle. You carry authority in realms unseen. Even your silence can disrupt darkness, because the seal of God's presence rests upon you. You wonder why people react strongly to you, why some either cling to you or resist you without explanation. It is not merely your personality, it is your spiritual identity. Darkness senses the light you carry and cannot remain comfortable near it. Chosen one. There will be times when you question the cost of being marked. You will feel the tension of being set apart. You will face the temptation to run back into hiding, to dim your light so others can feel comfortable. But remember this, the mark was not given to you for comfort, but for calling, and your calling will shake the foundations of what is hidden. So lift your head and embrace what heaven has declared over you. You are not forgotten. You are not misplaced. You are stamped with eternity's seal. The battles may rage, but the mark remains. The storms may come, but the seal holds firm. You belong to the Almighty, and no force of darkness can erase what heaven has inscribed upon you. Chosen one. Live boldly with the assurance that you are recognized in heaven and feared in hell. You are not ordinary, and you never were. The mark of God rests on you, and it will carry you into the destiny that has always been waiting for you. Chosen one. Pause and take this in. The battles you faced in silence were not wasted. Every tear you cried when no one was watching. Every moment you held your breath in fear but refused to quit. Those were not meaningless. They were shaping you into someone the enemy could never predict. You see, the hidden struggles were not punishment, they were training. Heaven was building you in secret for a war that is far bigger than what your eyes can see. You've asked yourself countless times, why me? Why is the pressure so heavy? Why do I feel like I'm fighting things no one else seems to understand? The answer is clear. You are marked for an assignment. And the greater the mark, the deeper the battle. The enemy has not been fighting you because of your weakness. He has been fighting you because of your potential. If you were not dangerous to the kingdom of darkness, you would not have been targeted with such intensity. Remember this truth. Your silent battles are evidence of your value. The warfare you endured in secret has prepared you to carry victory in public. The moments you thought were breaking you were, in reality, equipping you. Heaven allowed you to wrestle. Not so you would lose, but so you would discover the strength that was already within you. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 34, verse 19. The righteous person may have many troubles, but the Lord delivers him from them all. Let that promise echo in your spirit. Yes, troubles are many. Yes, battles come in waves. Yes, nights of heaviness seem unending. But the word is clear. The Lord delivers you from them all. Not some, not most. All. Every chain, every attack, every oppression will eventually break when God's hand moves. Your struggle is not final. It is part of the story that will end in deliverance. This is why you must not quit. Chosen one. The battle is proof that you are walking in the right direction. Darkness does not waste its energy on those who pose no threat. The fact that you are under pressure is a sign of your power. The sleepless nights, the inner war, the confusion that tried to cloud your mind, all of it is because you carry light that threatens the shadows. Now hear me closely. Do not silence your testimony. Your story carries weight. Every hidden struggle you survived is a weapon of encouragement for someone else who is barely holding on. The very pain that once tried to bury you will become the seed of breakthrough for others. Your scars will preach louder than your words. They are not signs of shame. They are signs of survival. And beyond that, they are signs of victory. Chosen one, the time has come to stop hiding your strength. Stop convincing yourself you are weak just because you feel the battle. Weakness is not the absence of struggle, it is surrender to it. But you have not surrendered. You are still here. That alone is proof that you are stronger than you realize. Now I invite you to seal this moment with a declaration. Type these words in the comments. I will endure. Write it. Not as an empty phrase, but as a prophetic act of faith. When you declare, I will endure, you are testifying against every lie the enemy has spoken over you. You are proclaiming that your story will not end in defeat. You are speaking life into the very places where darkness tried to suffocate you. Endurance does not mean the absence of pain, it means the refusal to quit in spite of it. When you type those words, you are joining countless chosen ones across the earth who are refusing to bow to despair. You are aligning with heaven's declaration that you will rise, that you will finish, and that you will see the deliverance promised in the Word of God. So write it, declare it. Let those 4 words echo louder than your doubt. I will endure is not just a phrase, it is a mantle you are putting on. It is the armor of your spirit. And when the enemy hears it, he knows his attacks have failed. Chosen one, your silent battles are being transformed into loud victories. The same storms that once terrified, you will soon become the testimony you stand upon. The same enemies that mocked you will watch God prepare a table before you in their presence. Do not despise your hidden season. It has been the furnace where your strength was forged. The battles may have been silent, but your victory will be loud. Endure. Hold on. And know this, you are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are being delivered from them all. And the world will see the evidence of your endurance shining through your life. Chosen one, you must open your eyes to this reality. Deception has been layered around your life like veils, carefully constructed to keep you from seeing who you truly are. These lies have whispered to you since childhood through voices of people who doubted you, through circumstances that crushed you, through the enemy's subtle strategies designed to blind you. For years, you may have believed you were ordinary, insignificant, even unworthy. But those were never heaven's words over you. They were chains forged by deception. The adversary is skilled at weaving illusions. He does not need to destroy you if he can convince you that you are powerless. He does not need to steal your future if he can make you believe you never had one. That is why the battle has always been in your mind. Thoughts that told you to quit. Thoughts that told you no one cared. Thoughts that made you question your very existence. These were not your thoughts. They were lies planted to distort your vision. But now, chosen one, the truth is breaking through. Light is piercing the darkness, exposing the counterfeit structures that tried to control you. What once felt like reality is being revealed as illusion. You are not forgotten, you are favored. You are not broken. You are being rebuilt. You are not weak. You are rising in strength. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 19, truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue lasts only a moment. Chosen one. Deception works only when you agree with it. That is why you must be vigilant with your thoughts. The mind is a battlefield, and the enemy's weapons are words twisted into falsehoods. But every time you stand on truth, you tear down the illusion. Every time you reject the lie, the chains weaken. And every time you choose to believe what heaven has spoken over you, light pierces deeper into your soul. Do not underestimate the power of truth. A single word from God carries more weight than 1,000 lies from the enemy. Lies are noise. Truth is a foundation. Lies scatter like smoke. Truth endures like rock. You are standing now, not on shifting shadows, but on the eternal rock of God's word. Look back at your life through this lens. How much of what you believed about yourself was never truth at all? You were told you were too much or not enough. You were made to feel like your voice didn't matter. You were led to believe you would never rise beyond your struggles. But here you are, still standing, still chosen, still marked. If the lies had been true, you would not be here. The fact that you are alive, reading this now, is evidence that the truth has been sustaining you all along. Chosen one. Deception often tries to make you forget your victories. That's why you must remind yourself of what God has already brought you through. Lies say, you are trapped. Truth says, you are delivered. Lies say, you are weak. Truth says, you are strong. Lies say, you have no future. Truth says, I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. When you hold on to truth, deception loses its grip. Understand this as well. Some lies were never about you. They were about keeping you from awakening others. The enemy feared the ripple effect of your testimony. If you rise, others rise. If you awaken, others awaken. That is why he layered deception so thickly around your life, to silence the movement God placed within you. But no lie can stand forever. The veil is tearing. Chosen one. Step into the clarity that truth provides. No longer allow the whispers of darkness to shape your identity. Instead, let the eternal word of God be your mirror. You are chosen, sealed, and unstoppable. Not because you feel it every day, but because truth has declared it. The deception may have lasted a season, but it cannot last forever. You are walking into a reality where truth reigns, where clarity shines, where the lies are exposed for what they always were, shadows with no substance. And when truth takes root, nothing can shake you. So, walk forward, eyes open, spirit steady, anchored not in illusions, but in eternal truth. The lies that once surrounded you are crumbling, and the fullness of your identity as God's chosen one is emerging. Chosen one. Can you feel it? Something within you is shifting. The veil that once kept you blind is tearing, and light is breaking through the cracks. It is as if you have been living in a dimly lit room, stumbling around, guessing where to step next. But now the curtains are being pulled back, and you are seeing the space clearly for the very first time. That is what revelation feels like. It is sudden. It is overwhelming, and it changes everything. For too long, You thought your life was random, like scattered puzzle pieces with no picture to complete. But now you are realizing that heaven has been painting a masterpiece all along. Every dark corner, every hidden tear, every unanswered question, they were brushstrokes, carefully placed, waiting for the moment the veil would lift so you could see the beauty in what once looked broken. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14. Verse 14, "The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still." This is the power of unveiling. While you were struggling to fight battles on your own, the truth was that heaven was already fighting for you. The reason you endured what should have destroyed you is not because you were stronger than everyone else, but because God was standing in the shadows, defending you, carrying you, and waiting for the right moment to reveal his hand. Think of a seed buried in the soil. From the outside, it looks like nothing is happening, but under the surface, unseen by human eyes, life is forming. The shell is breaking, roots are spreading, and soon, what was hidden will burst through the ground into the light. That is you, chosen one. The veil tearing in your life is the moment the soil splits open and the seedling rises. What was hidden is now visible. What was silent is now speaking. This unveiling is not just about seeing differently, it is about becoming different. You will no longer walk in the confusion that once trapped you. Instead, clarity will guide your steps. You will no longer waste time questioning if you are worthy. You will know that you are chosen. You will no longer see your struggles as proof of weakness. You will recognize them as signs of preparation. And this is where your part matters. When light enters a room, it is not meant for one person alone. The unveiling that is happening in you is also meant to shine through you. Your story, your journey, your revelation, it carries power to awaken others still trapped in shadows. Just as you were guided here to receive this truth, there are others who will be guided through you. So let me speak to your heart with honesty. Do not keep this to yourself. When truth pierces the veil, it is like fire catching dry wood. It spreads quickly when shared. If this word has stirred something in you, let it be known. Share it with someone who is still stumbling in the dark, like the seed breaking through soil. Your testimony has the power to sprout hope in barren places. And yes, stay connected. This is not the end of the unveiling. It is only the beginning. By subscribing, by leaning in, by continuing to walk with this flow of words, you are choosing to water the seed planted in you. Every time you return, you are letting the light shine brighter. Every time you engage, you are telling heaven, I'm ready to keep growing. Think of it this way. A lantern shines brighter, not when it hides in a corner, but when it is lifted high for all to see. You are that lantern. And these words are oil being poured into you. The more oil you carry, the more the fire of revelation will burn in you, guiding not only your path, but also the paths of those around you. Chosen one. The veil is tearing. You are being invited into a life where light replaces confusion, where truth replaces deception, where peace replaces striving. But remember, you were never meant to walk this journey alone. Others need the very light that is now breaking in you. So hold on to this truth. What God is revealing to you is not small. It is not random. It is divine timing, orchestrated for this very moment. Do not let the unveiling stop at your heart. Let it flow outward. Share it. Carry it. and live it, because what is being revealed now is bigger than you think, and the world is waiting for the light you carry. Chosen one, pay close attention. For some time now, you have been noticing patterns, numbers repeating in unexpected places, signs appearing when you least expected them, confirmations that seemed too precise to be coincidence. These were not random accidents. They were divine whispers, markers placed along your path to remind you that heaven is guiding your steps. Think about it. How many times have you looked at a clock and seen the same number pattern appear again and again? How many times did certain digits repeat in receipts, addresses, or even in the smallest details of daily life? At first, you may have brushed it off as nothing, but your spirit knew there was more. Your heart stirred when you saw them. These are prophetic numbers, codes of heaven designed to catch your attention. Each number carries meaning, a hidden message that aligns with God's word. They are like spiritual fingerprints stamped on your journey, confirming that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. When heaven wants to speak, it does not always thunder in a loud voice. Sometimes it whispers through the gentle repetition of signs, waiting for your spirit to recognize what your eyes cannot ignore. These divine numbers are like breadcrumbs scattered along your path, leading you back toward alignment whenever you drift. They are heaven's way of saying, look again. You are not lost, even when you doubt, even when you feel forgotten. These signs prove that the author of your story has never stopped writing, and he is still guiding you. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 30, and even the very hairs of your head are all numbered. This truth reminds you that nothing is overlooked. Every detail of your life is accounted for, and every sign heaven places before you is intentional. Numbers repeating around you are not meaningless. They are reminders that your journey is seen, measured, and guided by the hand of God. Chosen one. The number I give you today is a seal for this moment. 444. This is not just a sequence. It is a prophetic act. The number 4 has always carried the meaning of stability, foundation, and divine order. When it appears in a series, it is heaven's way of telling you that your foundation is being secured, your path is being aligned, and your steps are protected by divine order. You may have felt shaken in recent days, as if the ground beneath you could not hold you. But heaven is whispering through this number, you are steady, you are secure, you are unshakable because I am your foundation. This is not the time to fear instability. It is the time to recognize that God himself is laying bricks under your feet, ensuring that your walk is on solid ground. So I ask you now, chosen one, as a prophetic act of faith and alignment type, the number 444 inches, the comments, not as superstition, not as ritual, but as declaration. When you write it, you are saying, I stand on divine order. My steps are steady. My foundation is unshakable. It is not about digits on a screen. It is about aligning your spirit with heaven's message. By declaring this number, you are refusing to agree with fear that says your future is uncertain. You are breaking agreement with lies that tell you your life is unstable. You are aligning with truth that says you are held, you are guided, and you are planted on ground that cannot sink. Chosen one. You may not see the full picture yet. The road ahead might still look foggy, but heaven has not abandoned you to wander. The signs you are seeing, the repeated numbers, The prophetic whispers, they are confirmations that you are walking the exact path prepared for you. Trust them. Let them reassure you that your life is not chaos. It is orchestration. It is order. It is divine design. Remember this. The children of Israel once followed a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. That was how God guided them step by step. For you, chosen one, the pillar may not be visible fire, but it may be numbers glowing before your eyes. Signals that heaven is still leading you. Do not dismiss them. They are holy reminders that God has not left your side. So take courage, stand firm, and as you declare, 444, let your heart rest in the certainty that your steps are ordered. Your foundation is secure, and your destiny is unfolding exactly as heaven designed it. Chosen one, have you ever wondered why the weight you carry feels heavier than others? Why your shoulders feel burdened with invisible loads? Why your heart feels pressed with responsibilities you never asked for? It is not because you are cursed. It is because you have been entrusted with a mantle. The heaviness is not punishment. It is evidence of your calling. A mantle is more than a task. It is an assignment woven into your very being. It is the unseen robe placed upon your life that marks you as different. Others may live lightly, wandering without awareness of greater purpose. But you, chosen one, cannot escape the sense that there is more resting on you. Every decision you make feels weighty because it is. Every step you take echoes beyond your personal story. You are carrying destiny not only for yourself, but for those who will be touched by your obedience. Think of a torchbearer in ancient times. The torch was not for their benefit alone. It lit the path for those following behind. This is what it means to carry a mantle. Your struggles, your battles, your journey. They are not isolated. They are torches ignited so others can walk safely in the light you release. This is why you sometimes feel misunderstood. People who do not carry what you carry cannot comprehend the depth of your responsibility. They see only fragments of your life, not the full spiritual weight pressing upon you. And often, they will mislabel you, calling you too intense, too serious, too sensitive. But what they cannot see is the mantle on your shoulders, the divine authority resting upon you, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the second book of Kings, chapter 2, verse 13. Elisha then picked up Elijah's cloak that had fallen from him and went back and stood on the bank of the Jordan. Do you see the picture? Elijah's cloak, the prophet's mantle, did not simply fall as a piece of fabric. It carried authority, power, and calling. When Elisha picked it up, he was stepping into the weight of responsibility, the same way you have unknowingly picked up assignments that others could not carry. Chosen one. Carrying the mantle means your life will not look ordinary. You will be stretched beyond your comfort zone. You will be asked to walk roads that others avoid. You will be required to confront what others would rather ignore. This is not to punish you. It is to prepare you for the role you were created to fulfill. Consider this. A mantle is not just placed on anyone. It is chosen, measured, and bestowed upon those heaven deems ready. That means your life has been observed by God Himself, and He has decided you are worthy to bear this responsibility. Do not mistake the weight for rejection. It is divine trust. Yes, there will be times you feel weary. The mantle will make you question whether you can keep carrying it. But remember, you are not carrying it alone. Heaven has assigned angels to strengthen you. to lift your arms when they grow tired, to ensure the fire within you does not burn out. The mantle is heavy, but it is also holy, and within this heaviness there is glory. When Elisha picked up Elijah's mantle, miracles followed, rivers parted, oil multiplied, lives were restored. The mantle you carry is the same. It will release breakthrough, healing, and transformation in ways you cannot yet imagine. Others will find freedom through the very burdens you thought would break you. Do not despise the weight. Instead, lean into it. The heaviness you feel is a reminder that your life is tied to something greater than yourself. You are a vessel chosen to bear glory, a torchbearer called to guide, a warrior appointed to stand where others fall. Remember this, chosen one. The mantle is not a chain, it is a crown, and though it feels heavy now, it will one day shine as the evidence that you carried faithfully what heaven entrusted to you. So keep walking, keep carrying, keep standing. The mantle on your shoulders is proof of your assignment, and though the road may be narrow, it leads to glory. One day, when you look back, you will see that the very weight you thought was crushing you was actually shaping you into who you were destined to be. Chosen one. The noise of this world has often tried to drown out the whisper of heaven. Voices from every direction, opinions, expectations, fears. Distractions press into your mind until you can barely hear your own heart, let alone the divine voice calling you. Yet through it all, God has never stopped speaking. His voice is constant, steady, like a stream running beneath the surface, even when the land above seems dry. There have been times when you asked desperately, God, where are you? Why can't I hear you? But the truth is not that he was silent, it is that the noise around you was too loud. His voice is not always in the earthquake, not always in the fire, not always in the rushing wind. More often, it is in the still, small whisper that calls your soul back to alignment. Think back, chosen one, to the subtle moments of clarity you've experienced. Perhaps it was a thought that brought peace in the middle of panic. Perhaps it was a word someone spoke that pierced deeper than they could have realized. Perhaps it was a scripture that leapt from the page as though it was written for you alone. These were not coincidences. They were God's voice cutting through the noise. The prophet Elijah spoke as recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 19, verse 12. And after the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. That gentle whisper is the signature of God's voice in your life. While the world shouts, he whispers. While confusion screams, he softly guides. It is in the quiet places when your heart is still that you realize he has been speaking all along. His voice may not demand your attention, but it always carries peace, clarity, and truth that cannot be denied. Chosen one, you are entering a season where you must become more attuned to that whisper. Heaven is guiding your steps. But guidance, require listening. Imagine a ship navigating stormy seas. The winds are loud. The waves are crashing. But the captain keeps his ear on the compass, listening for the steady signal that cuts through the storm. That is what you must do. Train your spirit to hear God's frequency above the noise. How do you recognize his voice? You know it by its fruit. The enemy's voice breeds fear, shame, and confusion. Your own thoughts may wander in doubt or pride. But God's voice always aligns with truth, always brings clarity, always points you back to peace, even in chaos. It does not flatter your ego, it anchors your spirit. There will be times when His voice tells you to step where logic says no. There will be moments when He calls you to wait when everything in you wants to rush. And there will be seasons when His whisper confirms what your spirit already suspected, but your mind tried to deny. This is what it means to walk with God, not by sight, but by trust in His unseen guidance. Chosen one. Think about the power of this. The same God who spoke galaxies into existence, who thundered from Sinai, who shook the earth with His words, this same God chooses to whisper to you. That whisper is personal, intimate, evidence that you are not just part of a crowd but known by name. The Creator of all leans close enough to speak softly, because He desires not just obedience but relationship. But make no mistake, when you obey the whisper, mountains move. It may seem small, but obedience to the quiet voice of God has always been the birthplace of miracles. Noah built an ark because he heard and obeyed. Abraham stepped into the unknown because he heard and obeyed. Mary carried the Savior of the world because she heard and obeyed. And you, chosen one, will step into destiny by doing the same. The world is noisy, but you are being trained for clarity. Do not despise the whisper. Treasure it. Let it become your compass. When others run after every loud voice, you will walk steadily because you are guided by the only voice that matters. And as you walk, you will see what others miss. While they stumble in confusion, you will move in wisdom. While they are tossed about by noise, you will be anchored by peace. And soon, they will notice the difference. They will ask, "How do you know what to do? How do you stay steady when everything is chaos?" And you will know it is not because of your strength, but because you listen to the whisper. So quiet your heart, silence the noise, and tune your spirit. The voice of God is near, and it is guiding you into the next chapter of your calling. Chosen one, you are stepping into a sacred moment right now. For so long, you have been caught in battles that no one else could see. Your mind has been at war, your spirit has been pressed, and your heart has cried out for release. Yet through it all, heaven has not abandoned you. The unseen hand of God has been strengthening you, shaping you, and preparing you for this very point of surrender. The truth is, you cannot carry this calling on your own. No chosen one ever could. Every prophet, every apostle, every servant of God who was marked for greatness reached a moment of surrender, a moment where they whispered with trembling lips, "Yes, Lord, I will go." And in that moment, their lives shifted from struggle to assignment, from wandering to direction, from burden to breakthrough. You too are standing at such a moment. Heaven is asking for your surrender, not a surrender of defeat, but a surrender of alignment. It is the decision to place your plans, your fears, and your will into the hands of the one who sees the end from the beginning. And when you surrender, you discover freedom. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah, chapter 26, verse 3. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust. This is what surrender brings: perfect peace. Not the fragile peace of the world that breaks with the first storm, but a deep, unshakable calm that flows from trusting God. When your mind chooses to let go of control, and anchor itself in his whisper, the chaos around you loses its power. You walk with clarity while others stumble in confusion. You carry peace while others are weighed down by fear. But surrender is not always easy. It feels like stepping off the edge of a cliff, trusting that an unseen hand will catch you. It feels like walking into a room with no map, only a voice guiding you. And yet, every time, those who surrendered discovered they were not falling, they were flying. They were not walking blind, they were walking guided. And so will you, chosen one. This is where I invite you into a prophetic act. It is simple, but powerful. In the comments, type these words: I choose peace. These 3 words are more than just a phrase, they are a declaration. When you write them, you are breaking agreement with fear, anxiety, and doubt. You are speaking against every lie that tried to convince you that you are alone. You are aligning with the promise of Isaiah 26:3, declaring that your mind will be steadfast, your trust will be unshakable, and your peace will be perfect. And do not take this lightly. When you declare, I choose peace, heaven records it. It is not just ink on a screen, it is fire in the spirit. It is a testimony that you are stepping out of chaos and into alignment with the voice of God. It is a banner raised against every storm that says, no more, I belong to peace. Think of it like planting a flag on conquered territory. When an army wins a battle, they raise their standard high to say, this land now belongs to us. That is what you are doing when you type those words. You are claiming peace over your mind, peace over your family, peace over your future. You are declaring to every force of darkness that your heart is no longer available for torment. And once you make this declaration, watch the shift. You will notice clarity where there was once confusion. You will feel calm where there was once panic. You will see signs of God's presence guiding you in places where you once felt lost. Because surrender opens the door for God to move in ways you could never have managed on your own. Chosen one, do not resist this moment. Do not let pride whisper, you can do it alone. You were never meant to do it alone. The greatest strength of the chosen ones has always been their surrender, not their self-reliance. And today, your surrender is calling forth your next level. So speak it, write it, declare it. I choose peace. Let these words become your anchor, your shield, your weapon. For the storms may come, but peace will hold you steady. The lies may shout, but peace will silence them. And when the world looks at you and asks how you can stand so calm in the chaos, you will smile and say, because I surrendered, because I chose peace. Chosen one, the air around you has shifted. You may not see it with your natural eyes, but your spirit has already sensed it. What was once stagnant is now moving. What once felt locked has begun to loosen. The atmosphere surrounding your life is no longer the same. It is charged, alive, stirred with divine motion. You are standing in the middle of a shift, and that shift is accelerating. Think of the ocean just before the tide turns. The waves grow restless. The water pulls back slightly, as if gathering strength. And then, in one unstoppable surge, the tide rushes forward with power. That is what is happening in your life right now. God has been pulling things back, realigning, rearranging, not to punish you, but to prepare for the surge. Soon, the waters will rush in, and what felt like loss will reveal itself as preparation for abundance. The ancient words recorded in Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. Chosen one, your season is shifting. Where there was waiting, there will be movement. Where there was silence, there will be revelation. Where there was weariness, there will be renewal. Every delay you endured is now being revealed as divine timing. Every setback is transforming into a setup for what is about to unfold. You must understand, atmosphere matters. Just as seeds cannot grow in frozen soil, destiny cannot flourish in the wrong environment. That is why God has been changing the atmosphere around you. He has been clearing out voices that no longer serve your growth. He has been breaking cycles that kept you bound. He has been stirring your spirit so you would not settle for less than what He intended. Imagine a caterpillar in its cocoon. From the outside, it looks still, lifeless, even stuck. But inside, transformation is happening. Wings are forming. Strength is building. Soon, it will emerge, not crawling as it once did, but soaring in ways it never dreamed possible. That is the shift you are in right now. What feels tight, restricted, even uncomfortable, is not the end, it is the cocoon. And soon, the wings will unfold. Chosen one, when you begin to sense the shift, your response matters. This is not the time to shrink back or to remain silent. This is the moment to embrace what God is doing and step boldly into it. And sometimes, that step is as simple as saying, yes, I recognize the shift. Yes, I am ready to move. So let me speak to you with sincerity. If this word has stirred your heart, do not keep it hidden. Share it as you would share a lantern in the dark. Someone else may be standing in the same atmosphere of change, confused and uncertain, not knowing what to make of it. Your willingness to spread the light may become their confirmation that they too are in the middle of heaven's shift. And yes, connect yourself deeper to this stream. By subscribing, you are not just following a voice, you are saying to heaven, I will keep my ears open. I will stay in alignment with the flow. Every like, every share, every connection is not just an action, it is a prophetic agreement that you are participating in what God is doing. Think of a river. A single drop may seem insignificant, but when drops come together, they form streams. And when streams unite, they create rivers that carve valleys, shape mountains, and give life to entire lands. That is what happens when chosen ones like you come together. What feels small becomes mighty. So, step into this shift with confidence. Do not be afraid of change, for change is the language of growth. Do not fear the stirring, for the stirring is proof that heaven is near. And when you feel uncertain, remember this: every season under heaven has its appointed time, and this is your time of movement. Chosen one, you are standing at the threshold of transformation. Embrace it. Share it. Stay connected to the stream of revelation. The tide is turning, and your wings are forming. Soon, what was hidden will be seen, and what was waiting will be fulfilled. Chosen one, if you could see through the veil of the Spirit, you would understand why the resistance around your life has been so intense. Darkness does not wage war against what does not threaten it. The very reason the enemy has tried to silence you, discourage you, and weigh you down is because your presence disrupts his plans. You carry light that terrifies the shadows, and every step you take toward your calling causes panic in the camp of the enemy. Have you ever noticed how opposition increases the moment you draw closer to God? Just when you begin to rise in prayer, a distraction appears. Just when you decide to step forward in obedience, fear whispers in your mind. Just when you make progress, unexpected storms try to drag you back. This is no accident, it is warfare. It is the enemy's desperate attempt to stop you before you realize how powerful you truly are. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." Chosen one, your battle is not with people, the conflict in your relationships, the opposition at your workplace, the misunderstandings with those you love. These are shadows of a deeper war. The enemy uses human vessels, but the true fight is unseen. And here is the truth. The resistance you feel is not proof of weakness. It is proof of significance. Think of it like this. No thief breaks into an empty house. Darkness has been trying to break into your life precisely because you carry treasures of wisdom, faith, love, and destiny. The more the attacks rage, the clearer the message. You are carrying something the enemy desperately wants to destroy. But hear me now, the enemy is already defeated. His weapons may form, but they will not prosper. His accusations may roar, but they hold no authority over a soul covered by divine truth. You must learn to see beyond the surface of your struggles and recognize the spiritual reality. You are feared in the unseen realm. This is why your life has felt like a battlefield. Every sleepless night, every sudden wave of heaviness, every season of confusion, it was not simply circumstance. It was strategic resistance designed to break your spirit. Yet here you are. You survived what was meant to destroy you. And in surviving, you have already won victories that you may not even recognize. Chosen one. The enemy panics when you begin to understand your identity. He fears the day you realize that you are not just surviving but reigning, not just enduring but advancing, because when you truly walk in your authority, every chain begins to break, not just over your life, but over the lives connected to you. Understand this. Spiritual opposition is often the greatest confirmation that you are walking in the right direction. If the path you are on feels resisted, it is likely because it leads to breakthrough. If your prayers seem to stir storms, it is because they are shaking atmospheres. If your very presence makes others uncomfortable, it is because the light you carry exposes what darkness prefers to hide. Do not misinterpret resistance as abandonment. It is the opposite. Resistance means you are aligned with purpose. It means you are carrying something heaven refuses to let die. It means you are dangerous to darkness, and the enemy knows it. Picture this, a lion roaring in the night. It tries to sound intimidating, but its roar is hollow if it lacks teeth. The enemy has been roaring around your life, trying to convince you that he holds power, but his authority was broken long ago. His roar is empty, noise compared to the thunder of God's voice in your life. Chosen one, rise in confidence. Recognize the pattern. Every attack, every discouragement, every obstacle, see them for what they truly are, signs that you are on the edge of breakthrough. The enemy's panic is proof of your power. His desperation is proof of your destiny. So lift your head. Do not be shaken by shadows. You were chosen for such a time as this, and nothing can undo the mark upon your life. The very resistance you feel today will become tomorrow's testimony of victory. The war around you is real, but greater still is the one who fights for you. Chosen one. This moment is holy. You are not just reading words, you are standing in the stream of heaven's alignment. The patterns you've seen, the signs that kept appearing, the whisper that has tugged at your heart, all of them have been leading here. Heaven is confirming, once again, that you are chosen and that your steps are being ordered with precision. There are times when God speaks through thunder, times when He speaks through fire, and times when He speaks through stillness. And then there are times He confirms His word through symbols that carry eternal meaning. Numbers, repeating in divine patterns, are one of these signs. They are not random digits. They are codes woven into the fabric of creation, reminders that God is not just watching your journey. He is writing it. The Word of God declares in the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 6, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty I will give water without cost from the spring of the water of life. This is what prophetic numbers remind you of. God is the beginning and the end. Your life is not drifting, it is encircled by His design. From your first breath to your final step, He is weaving order into what feels like chaos. Chosen one. The number given to you now is 555. This number carries the prophetic meaning of grace multiplied, of divine mercy overflowing, of transformation accelerated. Grace has always been your covering, but in this season, it is being multiplied. The storms that once threatened to break you will now reveal the overwhelming grace that sustains you. Where you once feared failure, you will now stand in the unshakable truth that grace is stronger than every weakness. Consider this. 5 has always been the number of grace. And here, repeated 3 times, it is heaven's way of declaring, my grace is sufficient for you, not once, not twice, but beyond measure. This is not ordinary favor. This is multiplied mercy, extravagant kindness, unearned strength poured out over your journey. Chosen one. Type 555 inches. The comments, do it not as ritual, but as testimony. By writing it, you are declaring, I stand in multiplied grace. I walk under divine mercy. I am carried by strength that is not my own. These numbers are not about superstition, they are about alignment. They are a seal upon this moment that you receive what God has already promised. When you type 555, you are planting a flag in the spirit that says, I refuse to walk in my own strength. I rest in grace. I am sustained by mercy. I am transformed by love. Every digit you write is a declaration that you are not abandoned to struggle alone. Heaven is moving on your behalf. And here is the beauty of grace. It does not erase the scars of your past, but it redeems them. It does not deny that you stumbled, but it transforms the stumble into a stepping stone. Grace is not fragile, it is fierce. It is the power that lifted Peter when he sank, the forgiveness that restored David when he fell, the strength that carried Paul through thorn and trial. And it is the same power now at work in you. Chosen one. Multiplied grace means multiplied victory. It means the attacks that once overwhelmed you will now be opportunities to reveal God's strength. It means the doors that once closed will swing open, not because of your effort, but because of His mercy. It means your testimony will not be about how strong you were, but about how sufficient His grace has always been. So rest, breathe, let the weight fall from your shoulders. You do not need to strive to prove your worth. You do not need to struggle to earn His love. Grace has already chosen you. Mercy has already covered you. And favor has already gone ahead of you. Type 555 now, and let it be your banner. Grace upon grace upon grace. This is your portion, and as you declare it, know this: you are walking into a season where heaven's generosity will overflow. You will see miracles not because you earned them, but because grace has opened the floodgates. You will rise, not because of your own might, but because divine mercy has lifted you higher than you could climb alone. Chosen one. You are covered. You are carried. You are crowned with multiplied grace. And nothing, no lie, no storm, no failure can take that away. Chosen one. Every trial you have walked through has not been wasted. Every fire that burned around you, every storm that raged against you, every crushing weight that seemed unbearable, it was not meant to destroy you, but to prove what you carry. Fire reveals what is real. Gold is purified only in flames. And so it has been with your life. You may have questioned, why does it seem like I go through more than others? Why do I face struggles they cannot even imagine? It is because you are marked with a covenant of fire. Heaven has entrusted you with an anointing that could not be birthed in comfort. It had to be forged in heat, tested in pressure, and sealed through endurance. Think of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego standing before a fiery furnace. To the world, it looked like the end of their story, but to heaven, it was the stage for revelation. They were thrown into flames, yet not consumed, and in the fire, the presence of the Holy One walked with them. Their survival was not only for themselves, it became a testimony to kings and nations. And just like them, you too have walked through furnaces others could not withstand. The flames surrounded you. The heat pressed in, and yet you endured, not because you were stronger on your own, but because another walked with you. The very presence of God shielded you, proving that fire cannot consume what heaven has already claimed. The voice of God thundered in the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 9. This third I will put into the fire. I will refine them like silver and test them like gold. They will call on my name, and I will answer them. I will say, they are my people. And they will say, the Lord is our God. End quote. Chosen one. This is what your trials mean. They are not curses. They are refining. They are the evidence that you belong to God. Only those marked for glory are placed into the furnace of refinement, because only those destined for authority can be trusted with the weight that fire produces. Your covenant of fire means this: you do not break under pressure, you are strengthened by it. Where others see destruction, you will see transformation. Where others collapse, you will rise. The very flames that should have consumed you are the same flames that prove the unshakable presence of God in your life. Understand this truth: fire does not destroy what is eternal. It only burns away what is temporary. The lies, the fear, the shame, those are ashes now. Remnants of what could not survive, the refining. What remains in you is unshakable faith, tested character, and an authority that cannot be counterfeited. Chosen one. Every scar you carry is sacred. They are not signs of defeat, but of endurance. They declare, I went through the fire, and I came out different. You may not look the same. You may not think the same. But that is because fire always transforms. Do you see now why your life could not follow an easy path? Ease cannot produce refinement. Comfort cannot birth authority. You were chosen for fire because you were chosen for greatness. And the covenant of fire upon your life means that trials will never have the final word. God will. The fire covenant also means this: your life will become a living testimony. Just as the 3 Hebrew men walked out of the furnace without even the smell of smoke, so too will you emerge from trials carrying no residue of defeat. Others will look at you and wonder how you endured, and your very existence will testify of God's faithfulness. Chosen one. Take courage. The flames you faced were not evidence of abandonment, they were evidence of belonging. God trusted you enough to refine you, knowing that what emerged from the fire would be unshakable. You are not fragile glass that shatters in heat. You are gold that shines brighter the longer it burns. Lift your head and recognize what has happened. You carry an authority that cannot be imitated, because it was forged in the furnace. You walk with weight because you endured what others could not. And you speak with power because your words are no longer theory, they are testimony. This is your covenant of fire, to be refined, to be strengthened, to be transformed, and to be revealed as God's own. Do not fear the heat, for the fire is not your enemy, it is your confirmation. You are chosen, you are refined, and you are marked with the seal of endurance. Chosen one. You have walked through fire, carried mantis, endured hidden battles, and stood against deception. What seemed like endless trials were not for your downfall, but for your elevation. Now comes the moment of unveiling, where heaven crowns you with glory. You must see yourself not as broken, not as lesser, but as one who is honored, set apart, and lifted in due season. For too long, you may have been overlooked by people, your efforts unseen, your sacrifices unacknowledged, your voice silenced by those who could not recognize its value. But heaven never overlooked you. While men ignored, God recorded. While the world dismissed, heaven wrote your name among the faithful. And now, the crown that was always prepared for you is being revealed, like a tree that stands through many storms. Your roots have gone deeper, even as winds howled against you. Every season of shaking has only proven that you cannot be uprooted. And now, the fruit of endurance begins to appear for all to see. Think of a hidden crown placed in a vault, waiting for the rightful heir. It does not matter how long others pretend to reign, the crown belongs only to the chosen. And in this season, heaven is placing that crown upon your head. As the apostle wrote in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 8, "Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. This crown is not a decoration, it is an identity. It is the evidence that you belong to the royal line of heaven. It declares that you are no longer just a survivor, but a ruler. Not just a struggler, but a victor. Not just a wanderer, but a crowned one. Chosen one. Think of a diamond buried beneath layers of earth. For years it lies hidden, pressed under soil and stone, unrecognized by eyes that pass over it. But when the time is right, the diamond is unearthed, cleaned, cut, and revealed in its brilliance. That is what is happening with you. What was hidden in obscurity is now being brought to light. What was rough is being polished. What was overlooked is now shining with undeniable brilliance. Crowning does not erase the scars of your journey, it redeems them. Every scar becomes part of the story. Proof that you endured the fire and emerged stronger. The crown does not cover your scars, it rests above them, declaring that what once hurt you has now elevated you. Chosen one. This crown is not given because you never fell, but because you refused to stay down. It is not awarded for perfection, but for perseverance. The crown of glory is heaven's way of saying, I saw every battle. I counted every tear. I measured every step, and still, you remained faithful. Now rise and wear the honor prepared for you. Lend. But you must understand, to be crowned is not just personal, it is purposeful. When heaven places honor upon you, it is so others can see what endurance produces. Your crown becomes a testimony, a light to those who are still in their battles. They will look at you and know, if God did it for them, He will do it for me. Your life becomes an invitation to hope. And this crown is not fragile. It is not like the crowns of men, made of gold and jewels that tarnish with time. This is a crown of righteousness, forged by the eternal hands of God. Unshakable and incorruptible. No enemy can snatch it. No failure can erase it. No woman can deny it. It is secure, sealed in the heavens, and reflected in your spirit here on earth. Chosen one. See yourself as heaven sees you. Not lowly, not forgotten, not disqualified, but crowned with glory. You may not feel worthy, but crowns are never about worthiness. They are about grace. They are about what God has declared over your life, not what you have earned by your own hands. So, walk differently now. Lift your head as one who carries honor. Speak with the authority of one who has been entrusted with a mantle. Live with the confidence of one who knows that no matter how the world perceives you, heaven calls you crowned. This is your moment. What was hidden is being revealed. What was overlooked is being honored. And what was weary is now being strengthened. The crown has always been yours. It was only waiting for the right season to be placed upon your life. And that season has come. Chosen one. This moment is not casual, it is divine. You stand in the middle of a season where heaven is calling you to rise higher, to step fully into the identity you were created for. The weight of the journey, the storms you endured, the tears you shed in silence, they were not wasted. Every trial has brought you here, to the edge of transformation. Think of a potter shaping clay. In the early stages, the vessel looks ordinary, shapeless, even fragile. But as the potter presses, turns, and refines, the shape begins to emerge. Pressure was never meant to destroy you. It was the hand of the potter forming you. And now, the shape of your destiny is clear. What once looked unfinished is now becoming a vessel fit for honor. The ancient words recorded in the Gospel of John, chapter 15, verse 16. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you to bear fruit, fruit that will last. Chosen one. You were chosen not just to survive, but to bear fruit, fruit that will last. Your words, your actions, your obedience will ripple outward like seeds planted in good soil. And as a tree bears fruit for others to eat, your life is meant to nourish those around you. But fruit is never for the tree itself. It is always for those who come hungry. This is why your story must be shared, why your light cannot remain hidden. The testimony of your endurance may be the very bread that sustains another weary soul. Your willingness to step forward in faith may become the spark that ignites someone else's courage. And so, I speak to you sincerely. If this word has stirred your heart, let it flow beyond you. Share it like a candle passing flame to another wick. One light may seem small, but when many candles burn together, darkness is driven out. By liking and sharing, you are not just clicking a button, you are testifying. You are saying, "This word has touched me, and I will not keep it locked inside." By subscribing, you are choosing to remain connected to this river of revelation, to return again and again for oil that keeps your lamp burning. Just as a traveler needs fresh water on a long journey, your spirit needs continual refilling. This stream is one of the places heaven is providing that water, and I ask you, leave your comment below, not because the words are empty, but because your comment becomes an altar. It is where you put into writing the testimony of your spirit. Perhaps your comment is as simple as, "I receive." Perhaps it is your own declaration of what you sense God saying to you. But whatever you write, it will stand as a marker of your agreement with heaven. Think of ancient travelers who placed stones to mark where God met them. They became memorials, reminders to future generations of what heaven had done. Your words in the comments become those stones, signs to others passing by that God is moving, that He still speaks, that He still transforms. Chosen one. Your act of connection is not small. Each like, each share, each subscription, each comment, they are rivers flowing into a greater sea. And when many rivers unite, they create tides that change landscapes. You are part of something larger than yourself, part of a movement of chosen ones rising together. And do not underestimate this. Your participation may be the key for someone else's breakthrough. A friend scrolling in despair may encounter light because you shared. A stranger who feels forgotten may realize they are chosen because you took a moment to testify. Your action becomes their confirmation. So, embrace this with sincerity. You are not here by accident, and these words are not passing lightly. They are seeds meant to take root, fruit meant to nourish, fire meant to spread, and your response matters. Chosen one. Lift your eyes. See yourself not as small, not as powerless, but as a vessel chosen for this exact moment. You are part of a tapestry heaven is weaving, threads coming together into a design far greater than any single strand. And when you choose to step into connection by sharing, by commenting, by staying connected, you are aligning yourself with the fullness of that design. Your story is not over. In fact, it is only beginning to unfold in its true power. Step into it fully, with courage, with surrender, and with the awareness that heaven has chosen you not just for yourself, but for others who will rise because of your light. Chosen one, you are not standing alone. What has been happening in your life is part of a larger movement that stretches beyond you. For years, you may have thought you were isolated, carrying battles and burdens with no one to understand. But heaven has been raising others, scattered across nations, hidden in silence until the appointed time. And now, the appointed time has come. The torchbearers are rising. Each chosen one carries a flame. And though a single flame can light a room, many flames together create a blaze that no darkness can withstand. This is the season when the scattered sparks begin to converge. When the isolated lights begin to unite, you are part of a company of torchbearers, destined to set atmospheres ablaze with divine fire. The Apostle reminds us in his first letter of Peter, chapter 2, verse 9, "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession." Chosen one. Do you see it? You are not just an individual. You are part of a people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation. This is why you could not blend in, why you felt estranged from the patterns of the world. You were never called to mirror the darkness. You were called to shine light into it. Look closely at history. Every great movement of God began with individuals who realized they were not alone. Prophets thought they were isolated, only to discover there were thousands who had not bowed their knees to idols. Apostles felt overwhelmed by persecution, only to see communities forming around the fire of the Spirit. You are standing in that same story. Though you felt hidden, you are part of a vast company chosen for this moment. And this company of torchbearers does not rise in arrogance, but in humility. Their flames do not burn to draw attention to themselves, but to reveal the glory of the one who lit them. Each torch is different in size, in brightness, in reach, but all carry the same fire. That fire is what unites them, and that fire is what terrifies darkness. Chosen one. Unity does not mean sameness. Just as every torch has its unique handle and design, every chosen one carries a unique assignment. Some will burn in their families, some in their communities, some across nations. But the fire is the same, and when these flames converge, they ignite a blaze that cannot be contained. This is why your isolation was never permanent. The loneliness you endured was part of the refining, but not your final chapter. You were hidden until the right season. And now that season is upon you. The sound of rising torchbearers is echoing across the earth. People once silenced are finding their voices. Lives once crushed are standing tall. The fire that flickered in secret is bursting into flame. Chosen one. Lift your eyes and see you are part of something vast, something holy, something bigger than you imagined. You are not just surviving for yourself. You are carrying fire for a generation. Your endurance is fuel for the torch. Your scars are oil for the flame. And your obedience is the reason the fire has not gone out. Understand this. The rise of the torchbearers is not about fame, but about faithfulness. It is not about platforms, but about presence. It is not about recognition, but about revelation. Wherever they go, the fire will spread. Wherever they stand, darkness will tremble. Wherever they speak, atmospheres will shift. And you, chosen one, are one of them. Do not minimize your flame. Do not compare it to another's. The fire you carry is exactly what heaven intended for you. It is not small, it is precise. It is meant to burn exactly where you have been placed. The rise of the torchbearers is proof that the story is far from over. In fact, the greatest chapters are yet to unfold. Nations will see light where there was once only shadow. Families will be restored. Communities will be awakened. And it begins with individuals like you, recognizing that they are not alone, that their flame is part of a greater blaze. So, stand tall, carry your fire with courage, and know that across the earth, countless others are rising alongside you. Together, you will shine so brightly that no darkness will be able to withstand it. Chosen one, the moment you have been prepared for is here. All the hidden battles, the refining fire, the whispers of heaven, the unveiling of truth, it all converges now. What once seemed fragmented begins to align. The picture is becoming clear. God's hidden truth is not far away. It is being revealed, and you are standing inside. The revelation. Understand this. Revelation is not always a flash of lightning. Sometimes it is the gradual dawn of morning, when the first rays break the horizon and the world begins to change in quiet, unstoppable light. You are in that dawn. The shadows that once surrounded you are retreating, and clarity is breaking forth. Revelation is like the unveiling of a tapestry woven for years behind a curtain. Up close, the threads seemed tangled, messy, even random. But when the veil is lifted, the full picture emerges. Every color in its place, every pattern intentional. That is what is happening in your life now. Think of a mountain slowly revealed as fog lifts from its slopes. At first, you see only vague outlines. But as the mist clears, the majesty becomes undeniable. This is the season you are in. The fog is leaving, and the true shape of your destiny is being revealed. The apostle reminds us in his first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 9, "What no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, and what no human mind has conceived, the things God has prepared for those who love him." Chosen one. This is the truth being unveiled. What you are walking into is beyond imagination. You cannot measure it by your past pain or by the limits others tried to impose on you. The revelation unfolding over your life is greater than the sum of your struggles. It is bigger than every lie spoken against you, stronger than every chain that tried to hold you. For years, you thought the weight was meaningless. Now you see, it was preparation. For years, you thought the silence meant abandonment. Now you understand, it was training your ears to hear the whisper. For years, you thought the fire was punishment. Now you recognize it was refinement. Every step, every season, every tear has been a thread in the tapestry of revelation. Chosen one. God's hidden truth is this: you were never ordinary. You were never forgotten. You were never abandoned to chaos. You were chosen, formed, refined, and now revealed as a vessel of light in a world desperate for hope. The crown of glory is not waiting in the distance. It is already resting upon your head in the unseen. Think of a curtain drawn across a stage. For so long, the stage is hidden, the actors unseen, the story unrevealed. But when the curtain rises, everything that was prepared in secret becomes visible. That is where you stand. Now the curtain is rising. The world is about to see what heaven has been preparing in you all along. Chosen one. Revelation is never just about knowledge, it is about transformation. To see the truth is to be changed by it. The lies that once bound you lose their grip. The fear that once silenced you breaks apart. The shame that once weighed you down is cast aside. You are not who you were before the revelation. You are renewed, restored, awakened. And now, you must walk differently, not timidly, not doubting, not second-guessing, but boldly, with the awareness that you carry the truth of heaven within you. You are not a wanderer, you are a torchbearer. You are not a victim, you are more than a conqueror. You are not hidden any longer, you are revealed as chosen. Chosen one. Hold fast to this. The truth of your identity is stronger than the lies of your past. The truth of your calling is greater than the fear of your present. And the truth of your destiny is brighter than the darkness that still tries to linger. God has revealed what you need for this season, and He will continue to reveal what is needed for the next. Do not fear what you do not yet understand. Revelation unfolds step by step. Just as dawn does not burst into full daylight all at once, so too will the truth continue to grow brighter in your life. Walk in the light you have, and trust that more will come. The hidden truth has always been this: you are His, chosen, sealed, carried, and crowned, and no shadow, no lie, no storm can take that from you. The curtain has risen, the light is shining, the revelation is unfolding, and you are standing in the middle of it, chosen, unveiled, unstoppable, chosen one. As the final words of this journey rest upon your spirit, pause and let them sink deep. You have walked through 17 revelations, each one peeling back a layer, each one shining more light on who you truly are. This was never just a script, it was a divine mirror, showing you the face heaven has always seen. You are no longer hidden. You are unveiled. You are marked with fire, crowned with glory, surrounded by others, rising alongside you. And though the road ahead may still hold challenges, you now know the truth. Every trial has purpose. Every storm has meaning. Every step is ordered. The revelation you have received is not meant to fade when these words end. Carry it. Speak it. Live it. Let the truth shape how you see yourself, how you walk, how you stand in the face of adversity. Remember, you are not ordinary, you are chosen. You are not forgotten, you are sealed. You are not weak, you are more than a conqueror. The days ahead will bring opportunities to shine this light in places still dark. Some will resist it, others will be drawn to it. But you must remain steadfast. The truth in you cannot be silenced, because it was planted by heaven itself. So step forward, crowned and unshakable. The hidden truth has been revealed. You are God's chosen one, and your best days are not behind you. They are unfolding before you now. Rise, walk in confidence, and never forget, you carry eternity's mark.